There were advantages and disadvantages on both sides. Advantages of the colonists included their support of the people, their knowledge of the land, and their strong motivation to win the war. Their disadvantages included that they had a small navy, a small population, a bad military organization, short military terms, inexperienced fighters, few supplies, and their little wealth. British advantages included their large population, big navy, organized army, many supplies, manufacturing, and wealth. And their disadvantages included that they had few support from the people, little knowledge of the land, and no motivation to win the war. Lexington and Concord was the first battle of the Revolution on April 19, 1775. The Americans won, which proved that they could fight. The start was known as the shot heard around the world. On May 10, 1775, the Green Mountain Boys, led by Ethan Allen, attacked Fort Ticonderoga and gained artillery. British General William Howe went to Breed's Hill where the militia was. Colonel William Prescott said, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." The British managed to win, but they suffered tremendous losses. This proved that the colonists could hold their own ground. Cannons from Fort Ticonderoga were hauled to Dorchester Heights. There, Washington threatened to bombard Boston. On March 17th, 9,000 British soldiers departed Boston. Saratoga was the turning point of the war. Burgoyne's army met General Gates. Meanwhile, Benedict Arnold attacked Freedman's Farm. Continental Army surrounded Burgoyne, and he decided to surrender. As a consequence, Arnold felt he was not rewarded properly for his actions and decided to betray the army. Saratoga also caused Europe to believe in America's victory, and so the French allied with America. In the winter of 1777 to 1778, Washington and his army camped at Valley Forge. They trained and suffered great hardship. Some soldiers deserted, but others stayed for their love of their country and for Washington. George Rogers Clark defended Virginia. In May 1778, they captured Kaskaskia and Fort Sackville. It gave America land between the Great Lakes and the Ohio River. Britain had 100 warships off the American coast. The Continental Congress commissioned 1,000 privateers. They captured hundreds of British ships and disrupted trade, which caused British merchants to call for the war to end. John Paul Jones won the most famous sea battle. He was the commander of the Bahami Richard, and he battled the Serapis until it surrendered. Cornwallis set base at Yorktown. In August 1781, a French fleet arrived and blocked Chesapeake Bay. Washington and a French force came in from the north and trapped Cornwallis, then bombarded Yorktown with cannon fire, and Cornwallis surrendered on October 19, 1781.